All right, recording started. My slides are up, and we are ready to go for a Thursday night overview. Welcome, everybody. I always try to keep these fresh. And so we are entering into the holiday season. We are 1 week away from Thanksgiving. And so, holidays are kind of, very very much dealing with stress. We have, go ahead and mute yourself if you're not muted already. But holidays, we deal with stress. Tonight, it kind of reminded me, tonight, one of the little wine bars that Jennifer and I will hang out at, usually about once a week, we'll go in and have a glass of wine, meet with friends. They had their Friendsgiving celebration tonight. So we had the regular, turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, celebration for Friendsgiving. And I realized at Friendsgiving, there's no stress. You're there with people that you like. You're meeting as friends. In a week, we have Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving usually means there's family around, maybe some family that you don't get along with. If you are having a Thanksgiving next week and there's some people there that maybe you would rather not hang around with, go ahead and put a one in the chat. We won't make you say who that person is, but we know it happens. And there is holiday stress. There's no doubt that there's holiday stress. And here with LifeVantage, we have the perfect thing to deal with that holiday stress. So let's go ahead and most of you probably know me. If this is your first time hearing me do a LifeVantage overview, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat box. But I'm Dr. Jeff Picciarello. Here's some pictures. Picture of me at our last Market Connect event in Dallas, me and my beautiful wife, Jennifer. On the right-hand side of the screen, I am a MC1 with the company. I'm also a member of our scientific advisory board. Here's our scientific advisory board. 10 physicians from all over the world. We have a couple doctors from Mexico. We have my good friend Gail Pearson, who is from New Zealand. Dr. Mike, who's a chiropractor over in Hawaii. So it's a great, great group. Love meeting with them once a month and talking about the LifeVantage scientific research and what's going on with the company. Tonight, as always on Thursday nights, I like to bring in a special guest. So tonight's special guest is Dr. Jeff Claus. Thanks to Snapchat, I was able to come up with my Santa motif, and Dr. Jeff Claus is going to present about holiday stress. It's the time of year when we are more stressed and more burned out than ever because there's a lot of stuff coming up. We have Christmas gifts and we have Hanukkah gifts and we have celebrations and parties and work parties and office parties and everything that goes along with it, and a lot of stress associated with that. Before I get started, I got to talk about the disclosures. At the beginning, I'm going to talk about some of our supplements or our activators. They are not investigated by the FDA and they are not intended to cure, treat, prevent, or mitigate any diseases. At the end of this, I'm going to talk about the business side of LifeVantage. And it gives you as much as you put in, you'll get out. If you want to work it as a full-time job, I'm working it pretty much full-time. About 90% of my work now is devoted to LifeVantage, the other 10% to some of my other businesses. If you work it full-time,
Hey, I got water for you. Sorry.
if you work it as a part-time business, then you'll make part-time or gig money. So let's look at some of the stresses that are associated with this time of year. Now, holiday stress, we obviously have food and nutrition stress. We're going to parties, we're having more ultra-processed foods, leading to more oxidative stress. We're definitely eating more sugar, even if we try to stay away from it. I know I had a piece of apple pie tonight, which is something I normally do not eat. Obviously, more alcohol with the holiday parties. All of that is going to lead to more oxidative stress. We're going to have more family stress. Relatives visiting from out of town, sibling rivalries, aging parents that might be coming over for Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. So all of these things lead to family stress. We have social media stress. I mean, there's people out there that want to document every little bit. I went to our Friendsgiving tonight. I didn't take one picture. I'm not documenting our Friendsgiving celebration. We have the pressure to post. We have the pressure to fit in. It's all part of that social media stress. We have the fear of missing out. If we don't look at our social media every day, what are we missing? It is definitely an issue and definitely a problem. We have work and financial stress. It's one of the most stressful times of the year as far as our finances go because we have added expenses with holiday gifts, with holiday meals. You have to buy all the things, all the turkey and the ham and mashed potatoes and pies and everything that goes with it. Some of us have work stress. I mean, I'm blessed that I work for myself, but I know my brother-in-law, Jennifer's brother, he's a paramedic, and so they have mandatory overtime or they have holiday call. I can remember being back when I was still practicing as an orthopedic surgeon. We had mandatory call different holidays throughout the year, and depending on how new you were, when you were brand new, a lot of times you either got Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve or Christmas Day, or the one that you never wanted, Fourth of July. As an orthopedic surgeon, never wanted Fourth of July because of the firework accident. So we have holiday call and holiday overtime, and we know, I like my statistics. 57% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and most of them in dual income houses. And so the holidays come around. Now we're buying gifts for our family. We're buying gifts for our children. We're preparing that holiday meal. And now might be getting a little tight. You might be looking for some extra income this time of year. Results of that holiday stress. These are some, I like my statistics. Here are some statistics I was able to pull up. 58% of the US adults say they spend too much time worrying about money, which is the top cause of their stress during the holidays. 28% say they're experiencing stress in the holiday season for financial burdens, missed loved ones, family dynamic issues. The National Alliance of Mental Health says 66% experience loneliness during the holidays, maybe because we're missing family. We're missing family that maybe have been here last year and now are deceased before these holidays come around. They say there's too much pressure. There's unrealistic expectations. We've all had that. Christmas comes and it's over. I mean, it's you celebrate it Christmas Eve, maybe Christmas Eve service, and then Christmas Day comes and in 5 hours it's done. We just spent a month preparing for it. Nearly 9 out of 10 adults, 89%, say they're concerned about not having enough money for the holiday season. That's 90%. Crazy, crazy to think about that. And a prospective study of holiday weight gain says that the average American is going to gain about 5 pounds or 2.3 kilograms during the holiday season, during that season between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. We know that stress is the silent epidemic, that we know when stress becomes chronic, it attacks every part of our body. This is what we like to refer to as oxidative stress, not just a buzzword anymore. It's scientifically proven to be the root cause of 220 degenerative diseases, things like diabetes, things like neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, cause of obesity, cardiovascular disease, even some cancers are caused by this oxidative stress. And as our physical stress goes up, as our mental stress goes up, our oxidative stress goes up. So this time of year, it's important to make sure that we're having some way of challenging that oxidative stress and offsetting that oxidative stress, getting rid of those free radicals. I know a lot of us have self-care routines. Maybe it's a massage, maybe it's a mani-pedi, maybe it's a cold plunge or it's a sauna, but something that we do for self-care to just make us feel better. But it's short lasting. It's only going to last us maybe, 5 or 6 hours, and then it's kind of gone. I've noticed that I've had this pain on the right side of my neck now for about 3 months. It happened on a trip to Las Vegas back in June. Fell asleep the wrong way in the airline seat, and I've been dealing with this every day for 3 months. I go to my chiropractor and he adjusts me and it feels good for 8 hours and then it just comes back. Not sure where it's coming from, but I got to figure that out. But there's probably some oxidative stress. Even though I'm activated, there's some oxidative stress involved with that. If we go onto PubMed and we look at oxidative stress, we put oxidative stress into that search bar, we get 375,000 100,000 journal articles, research that has been done on oxidative stress. It is a real thing. It is a real problem. So what does it affect? It affects everything. Already talked, it affects our brain with things like MS and ALS and dementia, Parkinson's, our heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, kidney disease, skin changes, aging, wrinkles, fine lines, dermatitis, things like even like warts on the bottom of our feet, all can come from oxidative stress. Joint issues with arthritis, the immune system, immune flare-ups, colds, flus, all coming from oxidative stress. And then lung and eye issues. So every part of the body is affected. And we have the number one thing that is there to flip the switch on our healthcare. It is the paradigm change that we need. It's not just self-care. It's not making us feel better for the next 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, but it is true cell care. It is changing the way that our cells function. So remember that if we have healthy cells, then we have healthy tissues. We have healthy tissues, we have healthy organs. We have healthy organs, we have a healthy body. So it all starts off at the level of the cell. And so if we can stop the cells from aging faster, we can reduce the oxidative stress, we can reduce the free radicals, then our body is going to age slower. It is the only product in the market that has been shown to increase longevity in a medical scientific study, increase longevity by 7%. Now, I had somebody say, well, 7%, this was just a conversation earlier this week. They said 7%, that's really not that much. But think about what's 7% of 70 years? That's 4.9 years. That means you're going to live 5 years longer. It's going to increase your longevity by 5 years. You know, one thing I like to talk about is there's a discrepancy now. There's a discrepancy between our lifespan and our health span. So what's lifespan? If you've heard me talk before, you know that I like to talk about the difference between today, 2025, and 1975. So if you were alive in 1975, go ahead and put a 3 in the chat box. But I was 13 years old in 1975. I remember 1975. I remember things like the obesity rate was only 10%. It's 42% now. Pediatric cancer rate, 0.2%, 1.7% now. So what's changed over that period of time? What's changed over those last 50 years? And the thing that's changed is the fact that we're eating a lot more ultra high processed foods. Almost 70% of the American diet is ultra high processed foods. That's causing our cells to age faster because of the oxidative stress. So that's the difference. So what happens is back in 75, I can remember my parents died in the 1990s. And in 1975, what happened is you were born, you grew over your teen years, and then you hit age 20. And from age 20 to maybe you're 70, you lived a relatively healthy life. And then when you hit your 70s, maybe you had a disease that ended up being terminal in those last 4 or 5 years of your life. Used to be, back when I was practicing orthopedic surgery, they said that 90% of your health care was paid out by your insurance company in the last 3 years of your life. That's not happening anymore. Now what's happening is you live, you develop, and maybe your health span is 20 or 30 years, maybe gets you into your 40s or 50s. And then you start getting diseases and start dwindling until you get into your 70s and 80s and then die from one of those diseases. But there's health span and lifespan aren't equal anymore. And we have something that absolutely can change that. We have Protandim NRF2. Our story is significantly different. The story is started with LifeVantage, and it started back in 2005. And it wasn't founded under the guise of making money in the wellness space. You know, a lot of times with direct sales network marketing companies, they find a product that they can jump on and they can make money with that product. That's not the way this happened. What happened with this is we had a doctor, Dr. Joe McCord, and Dr. McCord has lifelong destiny, his lifelong ambition was to research oxidative stress and a small molecule in the body, the master antioxidant called superoxide dismutase. And he put tons of research, his entire life, into researching this molecule. And what he found was it can decrease oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days and 70% in 90 days. And LifeVantage went out to him and had said, help us make a molecule, help us make a activator that can help us reduce oxidative stress. And this is how this was launched in 2005. It started way before that. 1997 was the start of the Human Genome Project. It took 8 years to publish, and it looked at our genetic pathways and how the genetic pathways affected our life and how things like nutrition can affect those genetic pathways. A new science that was brand new at this time called nutrigenomics. And as this nutrigenomics science came about and Dr. McCord started looking at it, we were able to discover LifeVantage Protandim NRF2, the master antioxidant. So it was launched in 2005, and it was launched by the gentleman on the screen. John Quiones was a reporter for ABC News, and he was tasked with proving that NRF2 Protandim did not work. They were trying to make a hit piece. And so he went on the product, he went to his doctor, he went to Dr. Joe McCord and did an interview. And lo and behold, over the next 90 days, he started feeling better. He thought his skin looked better and his labs got better. They were looking at something called T-bars, which measure oxidative stress in the body, and his T-bar values went down. So it proved that it did work, and it became a very promising piece. However, there was a problem. What was not available in 2005? Well, for the most part, the internet, but even bigger, YouTube. So now we can go and put ABC News Primetime Special Report Protandim NRF2 on the YouTube search engine, and we're going to get the video. We can watch it. We can share it. We can share it with prospects, but in 2005, it didn't exist. So unless you were watching this on June 2nd, 2005, you didn't get the chance to hear what this special report was about. So what happened? It was on the shelves at Walgreens. It was on the shelves at Walmart. It was on the shelves at CVS. And it was maybe selling $1 million a year worth of products. Not enough to be beneficial. But in 2009, the company said, we need stories. We need stories from everybody in the company. We need Dr. Jeff's story. We need Anthony's story. We need Martha's story. And so what they did is they went into a network and direct sales market. And so now everybody could tell their story. You could watch it on, a meeting like this. You could do it face to face across a dining room table. It could be a Zoom meeting. It could be whatever you wanted it to be, but it was other people's stories. It was the stories about the benefits they were seeing. And that's how this product got launched. Not only did this product get launched, but we were able to launch an entire line of products. So if we look, this is our entire lineup. Starting on the left side, we have our daily essentials. Those are true supplements. They are like the vitamins that you take every day. There are vitamin D, and there are things like probiotics and prebiotics. Those are anti-aging products. Those are our key activators, our nutrigenomic products. They're not supplements. They activate the body's genetic pathways to make products. So we have our Protandim NRF2, our NRF1, our NAD. Then we get to our heart and eye health products. We get into liquid collagen that activates the body's collagen system to produce 100% more type 1 collagen in just 60 days. We have our skincare line, our hair care line, our Axio, which is our brain health energy drink products. Then we have the big product that came out a year ago in October of 2024, the MindBody GLP-1 product. That is our weight loss product. Most of you know my story, and you know that I took that product for the last 13 months, and I am now down, as of this morning, 114 pounds. 114 pounds in 13 months. It activates our body's GLP-1 system to produce increased amounts of GLP-1 naturally, not with the jab, not with the shot, but naturally by activating our genetic pathways. We have our immune products, and then we even have our pet and canine products. If we look at the key timeline for our activators, I had to add one today on this slide. 2005, we talked about Protandim NRF2 activates our antioxidant system, increases superoxide dismutase. We have our mitochondria product that came out in 2016, Protandim NRF1. NAD for brain health and for mobilization of stem cells in 2019. Liquid collagen 2022, increasing the production of collagen in our body. There's collagen everywhere. There's collagen in our eyes, in our blood vessels, in our organs, in our joints, in our face, in our skin for fine lines and wrinkles. I thought it was a beauty product. I'll be honest with you. When I first joined LifeVantage in July of 2024, my wife started the liquid collagen right away. She was worried about fine lines and wrinkles, mostly areas of sun damage, her face, her décolleté. She wanted to get rid of those wrinkles. So she started the Protandim and the liquid collagen together to help with that. I wasn't going to do it. I'll be honest with you. I said, I'm at the time I was 61 years old. I said, am I going to get any better looking? Probably not at 61. I don't really think I need the liquid collagen. So I wasn't going to take it. And Jennifer said, if you're going all in, if you're going all into LifeVantage, then you have to try everything. So I started on it. And lo and behold, over the next 8 to 12 weeks, my knee pain went away. And I thought about it. I said, back when I was still practicing as an orthopedic surgeon, I had patients ask me all the time, hey, I saw this advertisement for collagen, powdered collagen. It says it will help my joints get better. It's sharp cartilage or it's chondroitin. Should I take it? And I said, well, if you want to try it, great. If it doesn't work, give it 2, 3 months. If it doesn't work, don't waste your money. A lot of times it didn't work. But, they were getting their medical literature out of that great medical journal, the National Enquirer. They were buying it at the checkout. They'd find a big ad and they'd want to try it. They'd mail in for it. Maybe 3 or 4 weeks later, they get the package in the mail. That was in the olden days when we used to get mail that way. Now we can get things overnight with Amazon. Things have considerably changed. But I tried it and it absolutely worked. Then 2024, MindBody GLP-1. It's the product that got me interested in LifeVantage. I started on it right away, October 12th of 2024. And lo and behold, I'm now down over 110 pounds. And then most recently, our joint venture now with LoveBiome brought LoveBiome in with us, met some great LoveBiome leaders over the last couple months. The P84 gut health product that is absolutely amazing. Another activator that activates the peptides, activates the digestive enzymes in our gut. And we know the gut is really the center of our being. It is considered the second brain. So if we look at my 2 favorite products, especially now at the holidays, we're getting attacked a couple places. We're getting attacked definitely by oxidative stress, the alcohol, the sugar, the food, the mental stress, all attacking all of our body, all of our organ systems. And then our GI system's getting attacked. And we said that the average person gains about 5 pounds over the holidays. So the healthy white stack, Protandim NRF2, decreases oxidative stress by 40% in that first 30 days, stabilizes our hormones, mixed with the MindBody GLP-1, stopping that toxic cycle of emotional eating, stopping our cravings, maybe getting through the holidays without gaining that weight, without gaining that extra weight from the extra sugar, the extra alcohol, the Christmas parties, the work Christmas parties, everything that goes along with the holidays. It's going to crush those cravings. We're going to have less impulses. And now we're going to have a balance between our diet and our weight loss. So maybe we can get through the holidays without depending on gaining weight and then having to do our New Year's resolution after January 1st. Martha, I saw that question. I'm going to get to it in about 2 slides, so just hold tight. So, and then the Healthy Edge Stack. Healthy Edge Stack, Protandim NRF2, the discovery that changed everything in 2005, decreasing oxidative stress, combined with the P84 gut health system, merging science to activate our guts and to activate our digestion. Now, I have noticed that if we have inflammation in the gut, not much happens. If your gut's inflamed, it's even harder to lose weight because remember, those L cells that make GLP-1, they're in the lining of the gut. So if that gut's inflamed, it's not going to work. I tell people the story, the analogy that if your front lawn's on fire, say somebody's driving past your house and they throw out a cigarette. In Florida right now, it's really dry. We haven't had rain in about 2 weeks. The lawn catches on fire. You're not going to go out and throw grass seed and fertilizer on your burning lawn. You're going to put the fire out first and then fertilize it and grass seed. That's how this works. Protandim NRF2 puts out the fire. P84 is the fertilizer and the grass seed that's going to bring that gut lining back together again. So somebody said, why is it called P84? 84 total ingredients. So if we look at our gut at the holidays, you realize that 95% of the serotonins, the feel-good hormones, is made in our gut lining. So this leads to feeling better, more motivation, better sleep, less anxiety. That's all coming from our gut. It's not coming from our brains like we think it would. It's coming from our gut. And if the gut is inflamed, serotonin production falls, and then our mood, our motivation, and our sleep all tank. So nearly everything we do between Thanksgiving and New Year's increases gut inflammation. Sugar spikes, increased inflammation. Alcohol, toxic to the gut lining. Ultra high processed carbs, ultra high processed food causes dysbiosis. The good bacteria lining the gut goes away. You get bacterial overgrowth of the bad bacteria. Poor sleep from stress and from our schedules and from too many things going on reduces that microbiome. Family and financial stress activates cortisol from our adrenal glands, which inflames our gut. So you see what happens to our gut over the holidays. So it's more important now to start P84. I'm hoping that everybody's that's in LifeVantage, unless we have some new people on this call tonight, you're already taking your Protandim every day. Maybe you want to double up over the holiday season, but then it's time to add the P84. So what does P84 do? It does three things. It regulates, repairs, and restores. So the P84 activates the master peptides that control digestion, nutrient absorption, immunity, communication with the gut and the brain. And then it repairs the lining, calms down the inflammation, calms down that stress response, and it shields the gut from those everyday stressors like alcohol and ultra high processed foods. And then it restores the microbiome. It restores those bacteria, it restores the calming balance that our gut needs. So P84 is, we talk about Protandim is the take it to make it for antioxidants. Liquid collagen, the take it to make it for collagen production. Well, P84 is the take it to make it for gut peptides. It's the ultimate offensive gut strategy to repair your gut, especially over these hard times of the holidays. Do you realize that our gut, if we go from the stomach all the way to the anus, and we take everything out and we line it up, it's 30 feet long. We have 30 feet of gut lining. That's taller than a telephone pole. That's how much colon and small bowel that we have inside of our body. So if we can keep that lining healthy, we're going to overall be doing a lot better. So Martha asked the question, P84, where does that come from? 84 ingredients, 84 total microbiome friendly ingredients. It starts with whole food, phytonutrients, and polyphenols. Every color in the color spectrum are there. You have your blue and purple fruits like grapes and blueberries and blackberries. We have our yellow fruits like papaya and mango. We have the greens like kale. Every color is there as whole foods phytonutrients. We have the superfruits. We have things like acai berry. We have probiotics, prebiotics, and postbiotics. We have digestive enzymes that can help digest everything we bring in. That's where the P84 comes in. No other product on the market is like this. It is truly in a class by itself. So you understand why we need to be on these products. But there's two statistics, and you know I like my numbers. There's two statistics that bother me more than the 42% obesity rate, more than the 58% of Americans that are depressed and anxious over the holidays. This one is one that bothers me a lot. 57% of American households are living paycheck to paycheck. What does that mean? It means that if one of the two parents in the house lose their job, then you are 90 days away from bankruptcy. That's a problem, especially a problem over the holidays. The second statistic also deals with the holidays. 76% of American workers say they do not have enough free time to spend with their family. Holidays are coming up. We want to spend more time with the family. We want to have holiday meals together. You know, most households these days, I can remember 1975 sitting down at a dinner table with my mom and my dad. My brother would even come from work. He was living on his own, had his own home, but he would come and join us for dinner every night. It was the American family, the American household. That doesn't happen anymore. Most families don't sit at the table every night and eat. Maybe sometimes on Sundays. I see Anthony, a good Italian boy, on this call tonight. Italian families, Sunday dinner was always a big thing. It's fallen away now. It's not as meaningful, it's not as big as it used to be. Who is LifeVantage? LifeVantage is a financially transparent, debt-free company. It's been around 20 years. Remember, I told you Protandim NRF2 was developed in 2005. So over those 20 years, they've sold over $2 billion worth of products. Publicly traded on NASDAQ, and Entrepreneur Magazine says it's the stock to buy in the healthcare sector. It is a strong, financially transparent company. That's important. One of the reasons I joined the company was because of that, and because it was traded on the NASDAQ, because it can't close tomorrow. We're seeing other network marketing companies closing overnight. That can't happen with LifeVantage because we have a board of directors that we have to speak to. So it can't close overnight. I like following the trends. I like my numbers and my statistics. So the number one selling drug in both 2023 and 2024 was semaglutide, the drug that makes up Ozempic, Rybelsus, and Wegovy. $38 billion in 2023, 43 billion in 2024. It's a growing business, the weight loss system. Um, they said by 2031, it's going to be a $130 billion business. And we know that obesity's raising. It's 42% nationwide. We have 5 states that are pushing 50%. West Virginia probably crossed over. January, they were 49.8%. I'm thinking by now they're probably over a 50% obesity rate this year. First state to break 50%. They said by 2030, 50% of American states, 29 out of 50, will have a 50% obesity rate. Let's look at the money side. The feel good wellness industry, $1.5 trillion. Network marketing, they said that the average network marketer, if you're working at full time, is going to make about $82,000 a year, which is about $40 an hour. The discovery of nutrigenomics in 2005, now raising three major people like the people that own Google, Jeff Bezos, they're trying their own nutrigenomic companies, but they're linked with big pharma. They're going to be pharmaceutical drugs. So they're going to not be as pure and as wholesome as the products that we have here in LifeVantage. What is our goal in LifeVantage? It's moving families forward. It's moving families forward with health, with time, and with money. We talked about the health statistics. We talked about the time, how most Americans don't have time to spend with their families. And we talked about money, how 57% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. How can you build a business with LifeVantage? It's all about duplication. In one of my old network marketing companies, I started with Monavie back in 2008, and we talked about building by three. You bring in, you teach three people to do what you're doing. And then those three people teach three people to do what they're doing. And if you do that and you go down 9 levels, LifeVantage will pay you down 9 levels. If you do that down all the way down 9 levels, it means you have 7,000 people in your organization. That's how you can build exponential wealth instead of logarithmic wealth. So what happens? So if you go diamond, it means you have about 25 customers in the business. You're going to make about $1,200 a month. What does that mean? It means that you're maybe going to make a couple car payments, at least one nice car payment, probably a couple car payments, maybe a car payment and your utilities. Maybe it's going to pay your car payment, your electric bill, and your gas bill. Maybe it's just money you want to put away for vacation. But if you help 5 people in your group go diamond, now you're going to be making about $3,200 a month. I get excited and I get hoarse. And then if those 5 diamonds, they each help 5 people go diamond, now you're going to be making about $13,200 a month. It means that you're now going to be at the executive level in the company. I can tell you that with LifeVantage, whenever you refer someone and they buy product, you get paid that month, you get paid the next month. And if you're in long enough, look at Rachel Picard, our presidential. She's been in over 10 years. So she has people that have been buying Protandim NRF2 every month for 120 months. You get paid every month. I can tell you that when I practice medicine, if I saw a patient and the health insurance paid me back then, it was about $50 for a regular office visit. It's now $42, and it's now almost 20 years.
Probably.
If they paid me for that office visit, the next month, if I didn't see the patient, they didn't pay me again. There wasn't any residual income. That's how I talk to doctors about these products. Is every month you get mailbox money on the 15th. You get a residual income check. It's passive profit, even if you're not building the business. So our mission in LifeVantage and in Team Heart is to change the world around us with love, health, and entrepreneurship. For those of you that know me, I have the Dr. Jeff effect, where I'm telling people to take control of their own healthcare destiny. Don't depend on your doctors. Your doctors work for Big Pharma, and your doctors work for the insurance company. Do it on your own. Take care of your own healthcare, take care of your own healthcare destiny, and worry about your own health and your family's health. Don't leave it up to your doctors, because your doctors don't always know best. And the best part, you don't have to build a business with them from scratch. There's no hefty overhead. There's no inventory to keep, no shipping, no tech overwhelm. When I was with Monavie, we had cases of juice in our garage. Every month we had cases. We used to give it away.
In the morning.
And so that was the way that we built our business, but not with LifeVantage. It's shipped from the company once a month to your customer's house. Team Heart, who are we? Well, we're a group, we're a team. We've had over $200 million in revenue over the past decade, and we've paid out over $100 million in commission. We have 6- and 7-figure earners that are willing to work with new consultants and work in the trenches to teach and train. I do this call usually 3 out of the 4 Thursdays a month. Usually Rachel will pick one up for me so I can have a Thursday night off, but we're here to lock arms. If this is the first time you've been on a call, go ahead and I think we're up to number 5, put a 5 in the chat box. I want to know who our new people are. We have the secret sauce. That's our activated affiliate site. It's our own website. We put it together as Team Heart, and we have different aspects of this site. We have the 30 days to 1K. If we're able to help you make your first $1,000 in the first 30 days, then that means you're more likely to stay because you're already making money. We have DFI funnels. We have customer follow-up campaigns. You put your customer's name in, and every day we're going to drip on them. We're going to send them a little bit of information about the products and about the company. We have our AI assistant, Millie. That's a 24/7 chat bot that you can ask questions to and get answers for your customers and consultants. We have social media swipe files that you can just click and pull over to your Instagram or to your Facebook. So how far can the company take you? The company can do this. The company, if you're just starting out, maybe you're starting out as a consultant, you're only going to make maybe an extra $27 a month. Maybe that'll take your family out to McDonald's once. But as you move up through the consultant levels, consultant 1, consultant 2, consultant 3, now it's an extra $150, $200 a month. That's maybe your electric bill. That's gas for your car. As you move up to the next level, your senior consultant levels, it's going to be between $300 and almost $1,000 a month. That's where it becomes significant. It might be a car payment. It might pay part of your rent. Once you get up to the managing consultant levels, it doubles again. So you're going to be almost $2,000 a month at Managing Consultant 1, all the way up to about $6,000 to $7,000 a month as a Managing Consultant 3. What's $7,000 a month? That's your mortgage. That's your mortgage and your car payment, maybe your utility bills. You're now replacing your daily job's income. You're working a full-time business. And then when you get to the executive levels, you see that it doubles again. Goes from that 6,700 up to 14 to 15,000 at executive consultant 1. That's because at executive consultant, they start pitching in, the company starts putting part of their profit into the hands of those consultants. So you're making some of the company's profit. And if you go all the way up to the presidential level, that's 130,000 plus every month as a job that you're doing from home on your computer during your spare time. Working at full time is a full-time business, 40, 50, 60 hours a week maybe, but it's more than doctor money. I can tell you as an orthopedic surgeon, there were very few months that I took home $131,000. Very few months in my career as an orthopedic surgeon. Who can do it? Everybody. Busy moms and dads. Here's some busy moms. Lachelle is just rocking it. She's in Indiana. Eric and Kristen Richards also building a great business. Amber White. We also have some fitness and wellness professionals that own their own gyms. Jesse and Erica owned their own gym in Indianapolis. Now they're doing this business for the most part full time. They've sold both of their gyms. It can be healthcare professionals like myself. Dr. Gale over in New Zealand. Our vision over the next 10 years to help 1 million people achieve better health, better cell care, lower oxidative stress, increasing their longevity. And then along the way, help 1,000 families become debt-free, moving their families forward, more money, more health, more time with their families, trips with their families, vacation with their families, sitting down with dinner with their families, all the things that are important. And you don't have to be perfect to do this. We have a lot of imperfect people in our group. You just need to be willing. You need to be able to lock arms with somebody, believe in those people, and then keep moving forward. So if this is the first time that you've heard a presentation like this, I want to welcome you to Team Heart and to LifeVantage. Thank you for becoming part of our team. Thank you for reaching out tonight and being on this call. I love each and every one of you. Next week, there's no call on Thursday. It's Thanksgiving Day, so we're going to spend time with our family. So I want to wish each and every one of you a happy Thanksgiving. I'll probably be on the Tuesday night call. I love you guys, and this call is officially a wrap. Have a great night, and the recording of this will come out in the morning. Bye-bye.